I hope your computer's in good condition, Vix.
Yeah, and my eyes are doing all right too. So I am keeping them peeled for all the great texts and tweets that are coming in tonight. I tell you what, the narrative, if you like, Rob, on social media seems to be that going down to 10 men actually helps. I think a lot of reaction on Cardiff's performance second half. Newport as well, saying both teams actually looked better when they went down to 10 men. Robbo will like this tweet. Planet Swans on Twitter saying a win this evening for Swansea now, and we can put some air between us and third place, and more important, 10 points between us and the non-playoff places. Let's make sure we get that result. If you want to react to that, it's 8, 10, 12 tonight. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales. Cardiff reaction then, Danny saying you'd have thought more was Pele going off the commentary today. More this, more that, says Aaron. Chris saying it's the lack of effort from the Cardiff players that is the disappointment. Do you agree? Pick up the phone, 03700 100 110.
Vicky, I bet your computer's almost cracking up under the pressure.
Yeah, it's steaming up, I'll be honest. Off the back of Paul's call and Michael's call tonight already on the programme, lots of Cardiff reaction coming in. Mixed bag, really. Nigel saying Neil Harris needs to go ASAP. If there were fans in the ground, he would have gone after the Swansea game, was his prediction. Nathan saying some of the players are clearly not playing for Harris, and that's the problem in his opinion. He says they need a huge kick up the Lloyd says time to go for Neil Harris. And James, again, focusing on the players. He says they look uninterested, no pace or energy in their play. Second to every ball. Clueless going forwards. Well, I guess apart from Kiefer Moore, because his head seems to get in the way of everything. But 8, 10, 12 with your text tonight. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales. You can give us a call, 03700 100 110.
I've never heard it, sir. I must use that line. His head gets in the way of everything. If you text, then Vicky will read them out.
I will, and Swansea fans have been doing their maths tonight with the table in front of them. Greg saying 3 points tonight, please, Swansea. That's his request. Keep the ball rolling. Will saying Bournemouth losing is massive. We have to punish them tonight and get the 3 points. We will be 4 points clear of them, although Brentford will have 2 games in hand, but we will be 5 points clear if we win. Come on, you Swans. Reece saying absolutely huge game for us tonight with Bournemouth losing. Could go 4 points above them, which will be massive with Brentford having 2 games in hand after our game tonight. Norwich City winning means we need to keep up with them and drift away from Bournemouth. 8, 10, 12 with your text. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales. Give us a call, 03700 100 110.
You can text 8, 10, 12 and Vicky will do her best to get you on air.
I will. I'm getting through them tonight. John is a Cardiff fan. He says the players not tactically aware of what they're doing. What are they doing in training? Will someone tell the fans what the game plan is? Wilson must be so frustrated. Matt says only ruffled Norwich's feathers when we went Route 1. Midfield is shocking, so negative and constantly outworked. Harris should have gone months ago. They won't do it now. What he has done to Harry Wilson is nothing short of embarrassing. Had 0 positive input in 90 minutes. And Paul says there's a pattern emerging in Cardiff. Pay for a top manager, sack them after promotion, followed by relegation, bring in cheaper manager, sack them after drifting to the bottom of the championship, and on and on and on. I want to touch on some Newport messages we've got coming in. Jackie saying we'll take the point today. Not a brilliant game. Oh well, bring on Cheltenham. Newport County USA on Twitter saying look better with 10 than 11, to be honest. Definitely have some creativity issues that need sorting. Seems like we haven't had a set striker, let alone pairing, since the first couple of games when Abrahams was in form. And Carl saying that pitch is killing our season. Who can play football on that hybrid of mud and sand? You would be embarrassed if that was a Sunday League pitch. Your reaction to that, please. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales, text 8, 10, 12. Off the back of Ian, he was calling in, he's a Cardiff fan, just before 6 o'clock. Dave texted on 8, 10, 12 saying, no way would most Cardiff fans accept relegation as part of a rebuilding. Look at Sunderland, it's not easy to get back up. And also a financial disaster. Clive says, last week the phone-in was calling for Harris to be sacked. That's not going to happen if they are letting him buy players. Surely, I'm sure we will go back to that talking point, which we were chatting about earlier in the programme. Gary says, I don't want to see any manager lose lose his job. But should it happen, then Cardiff City should go for Eddie Howe. And Blueman61 on Twitter saying, it's woeful, Rob. There's no pattern to our play. It's aimless. A lot of these players aren't good enough to play League One. A few players are overrated, particularly Wilson. So keep your texts coming in tonight. Really keen to hear your thoughts on that. 8, 10, 12, that number again. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales. Ashley's been in touch. He says, just can't see Neil Harris going anywhere now, especially if he's still being backed in the market. He isn't my top choice as a manager, but I feel like things may change with a few more signings and some key players returning. He's keeping some hope there. Paul in Aldershot has sent quite a long text in this evening on 8, 10, 12, so I really do want to get it out on air. He says, on the back of 4 or 5 defeats, any manager who says that this wasn't a must-win game deserves to be sacked for that alone. It says everything about his attitude, which is obvious for all to see, and that laid-back, shrug-the-shoulders approach comes across in how this team plays. Neil Harris goes on about a lack of leaders, but it starts with him. He takes no accountability, has no drive to make something happen, has no plan, at least not one that's obvious, and simply doesn't learn from his mistakes. That post-match press conference was an embarrassment. Norwich barely got out of first gear, and so predictable, he would use the line, they are top of the league. Wycombe were bottom, and he was saying the very same thing. Thanks for your text on 8, 10, 12 tonight. Another text that I do want to get out, Rob, is from Kevin, who says Neil Harris should be shown the door. I follow Cardiff everywhere. After we were beat at Rangers 6-1, he totally blanked the supporters. So we've got no trust in him. He doesn't show any emotion towards the fans. So he wonders why the fans aren't getting off his back. He says if the fans were in the stadium now, he would have gone months ago. That's a thought that's been echoed quite a lot tonight, actually. Keep your texts coming in. We've got another 20 minutes or so with Swansea Build-Up, of course. 8, 10, 12. You can tweet at BBC Radio Wales.